The 2024 blowout is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. All remaining 2024 vehicles are priced at cost. Save thousands on a 2024 Nissan Armada, perfect for your family. Or check out the rugged 2024 Nissan Pathfinder and Nissan Frontier while they last. Plus, take advantage of half-price oil changes all month long and save 20% on brakes and rotors, including parts and labor. But only until April 30th at the new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, we want to welcome you into Border City Furniture, where the sale never ends. We're very excited to launch a new initiative here on Live with Kurt Price called the Border City PROspectives, where we talk to various members of our community about current events, the best things about our city, and what lies ahead. And today we are excited to have from the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation, Stephanie Munro is the CEO of the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation. She is joining us this morning. We have Taylor Weaver, who is the editor of the Meridian Source, and we're excited to have David Lopez here today as well. He's a businessman here in Lloydminster, and of course he's a city councillor as well. I want to remind you at the new Lloydminster Nissan, we will be closed tomorrow for Good Friday, but all this month it's the home of the half price oil change. Call 780-875-3335 and book your oil change today. Plus get 20% off brakes, including both parts and labor. And right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, we're blowing out the remaining 2024 vehicles at cost, and there are just a few Pathfinders and Frontiers left. So get in ASAP to get a smoking deal. I want to say congratulations to this week's Cupcakes for Caregivers recipient, Cheryl Campbell. Cheryl is the Mental Health Day Program Facilitator at the Libby Young Center, and we were able to drop cupcakes off there yesterday ahead of their Easter dinner. Oh, we walked in, it smelled so good. It was 1 o'clock, I just eaten, I was still like, oh, ham. It smelled so good. But what really stuck out to me when we were there was that we gave Cheryl the cupcakes and clients were there. The clients were emotional because of how much Cheryl does for them. So she clearly means a lot to both the clients and, of course, staff members too, because it was staff members who nominated Cheryl. But Cupcakes for Caregivers is proudly presented by Lloydminster Sobeys, the United Way Lloydminster and District, and Live with Kurt Price. And if you know someone like Cheryl who deserves to be recognized, we hope that you will take some time and nominate them. You can email livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with over 22 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and their service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, you can give Superior Water a call today, 780-875-6636, or stop in and see them at their 57th Avenue location. They're right beside Sheepskin Loft. And stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste. After all, it is superior water. We're excited to team up with Kenny Mack and KM Artesian Hot Sauce for our KM and KP Spring Sizzler contest. You were there when we launched that contest. We're so excited to be working with Kenny Mack. He not only has his product right across the country, and when everybody's talking about buying Canadian, well, Kenny Mack not only is Canadian, he's Lloydminster. Yeah. He made his product right here and continues to make his product right here in Lloydminster. So we're giving you the chance to win a Canadian-made barbecue. We had to do some research on that. Like, let's buy a Canadian-made barbecue and make sure that it is Canadian-made. And so not only can you win a Canadian-made barbecue, but you can also win KM Artesian Hot Sauce for a year. And when I said to Kenny, what's that look like? KM Artesian Hot Sauce for a year. He goes, well, definitely a bottle every 2 weeks. Like, oh my. Like, oh, okay. So you get 24 bottles of KM Artesian Hot Sauce, and he'll make sure that you get the root beer and the dill pickle, which are two of his most popular. But also, he's got a new GSP rub that he has as well, so you're going to get some of that as well. So enter today on our Facebook page. The future of women's hockey is coming to Lloydminster for the 2025 SO Cup from April 20th to 26th. That's next week already. Watch the host Lloydminster Steelers face off against 5 regional champions from across Canada at the Centennial Civic Centre. Full event ticket packages start at $90. Visit hockeycanada.ca/SO Cup to get your tickets and be there when Canada's women's U18 club champions are crowned. And Umbrella Marketing and Design is proud to present Elevate 2025 on May 10th, a day designed for young women ages 12 to 18 and their moms and their mother figures to develop life skills and learn how to stay safe. They have guest speakers from Lloydminster, local voices, sharing empowerment sessions on everything from physical health to mental health, and of course, how to keep yourself safe online. The keynote speaker is Jess Haytu, who will share her inspiring journey from leaving home at just 15 years of age to building her entire empire around the Just For You day spas. Tickets, which include lunch, are available at umbrella-inc.ca. They're committed, certified, reliable, and they will help you get your life back. BioClean Disaster Services is not only Lloydminster's local restoration company, but they are also Lloydminster's largest restoration company. And you see their name on everything, including the swimming pool. That's not just what makes them local. They care about our community and they care about your family. That's what separates BioClean Disaster Services. 1-833-246-8326. They're going to take care of your property. They're going to take care of your belongings, but more than anything, they're going to take care of you. That's what BioClean Disaster Services is all about, you and your family. We're going to take a break here at Border City Furniture, where the sale never ends, and we will be back momentarily with our prospectives.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back. You help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Welcome back to Border City Furniture. We're really excited to launch this new initiative with Calvin and Ryan here at Border City Furniture. You know, I've known Calvin for, at least 30 years. We worked together at our old Bonanza days. Yeah. And it doesn't surprise me that Calvin, you know, has this awesome furniture store and is doing so well and gives back to our community all the time, because I knew him when he was like 15 years old. And he was very reliable then, and at one point had 3 jobs. So the guy's just a worker that cares about our community, and it's great. Well, you know, when I kind of pitched this idea to him, said, you know, I want to just talk about the good things in our community and have people that care about our community, like you 3 do, come in and just, you know, tell us what they love about it, kind of thing. He loved the idea, and I saw Stephanie at I Love Alberta Boobs at Rock for a Cure, and said to you, what do you think of this idea? You were all in on the idea.
Yeah, I think it's great.
You know, and then Richard Starkey was on the show yesterday, and I said to him, this is what we're doing, and I want to be on that show. Because he said, you know, when you go to places, like when you go to, and he mentioned places in Germany that he's traveled to and stuff, and you say to people, oh, I've been here for a couple of days, I'm just seeing the sights, and they go to you, you're seeing the sights for a couple of days, you can see everything this town has to offer in an hour. I feel like that's what people think that live in Lloydminster. Yeah. So like Taylor and I were parachuted in. We're not born here. You guys were born here, right? Yeah.
Well, I wasn't born here. I was born in Vancouver, but I was here when I was like a year old.
Oh, okay.
So like, I like to just.
So it's pretty much home.
Yeah, it's home.
Yeah.
This is home.
Moved here when I was 3 months old. Yeah.
Like,
So,
Born. Yeah.
So what's the biggest, like, what's the biggest change you guys have seen from the attitude of people about Lloydminster? Like, have you, because I've, like, I'll tell you this, like, when I first told my dad I was moving here, his initial reaction was, no, you're not. And I was like, well, why? And he said, because there's no culture in Lloydminster. It's all, I know why you want to move to Lloyd, because there's bars that you can get into. Because, of course, I lived in Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
and I was 18, right? He's like,
Yeah.
you want to be able to go in the bars. And I hadn't really thought of it. I was just trying to get a job. Right? Like, I was like, I know people in Lloyd. I hadn't really thought of that. But he was like, there's no culture there. There's nothing. So when I think back at when I moved to Lloyd, how much the city has changed, we've added the Vic Juba Theatre. We've added the Service Sports Centre. We're building a new arena. Things are, I think things have changed in those days since I came. So the biggest change I can say that I've seen is I really feel that there is culture in the city now.
Yeah.
How about you, David? Like, you've been here since you were 3 months old.
Yeah.
Had a restaurant named after you one time.
Restaurant named after me. Yeah. Like, you always talk about people and that they come to Lloyd and they say, oh, it's a transient community because you're there, you make your money and you leave, right? No one stays in Lloydminster, and they're wrong. And we can prove it because you look at City Council right now. There's 5 councillors who are all like pretty much born and raised in Lloydminster. We all left to go to school, and we all came back and are raising our families in Lloydminster, right? So it's not a community that people sit there and leave and say, oh, I'm never coming back, I'm never coming back. I think, and it's those things, the Vic Juba, and I keep thinking back. So you look at the Vic Juba, you look at the Service Sports Centre, you look at the Bill Condro wing, and those were all built by fundraising and through the community. So these are people that came to Lloyd, started a business, started a family, and now want to make Lloydminster that place where their family wants to come back to and their grandkids want to come back to. And you don't do that in a community that's transient, that no one wants to live in. You do that in a community that has a pulse, has a heart, and loves where they are and what it offers. And I mean, we've got everything. Bud Miller Park.
I was
right?
just thinking
Bud
the
Miller
same
Park.
thing.
Name me another community our size that has a facility like that, and you can't, right? And people will sit there and when they come to Lloyd, always sit there and say, man, I can't believe you guys have something like Bud Miller Park here. So, and it's the Vic Juba. It's getting these bands. I remember, like Jesse Cook came to Lloydminster. Like, this guy sells out theaters. And he came and did an intimate show in Lloydminster. Well, he wouldn't come to Lloydminster if there was no culture, right? So, just it is a great community. It's always that there's always something to do. I don't sit there at the end of the night and go, geez, there's nothing to do here. Well, no, it's nothing to do if you don't want to look for it, right?
Yeah.
So
Maybe in the summer when it clears out, everybody goes to the lake.
yeah,
Like I remember one time we were going to hold a hot dog eating contest for Father's Day, and it didn't go over, and nobody entered. And I remember Dave Schneider was on board for one of our prizes.
Yeah.
And I had to tell Dave, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to go. And he's like, oh, why is that? You know how Dave is?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, why is that? And I said, well, nobody entered. And I'm like, we got maybe 2 entries. And he's like, what have you learned?
don't do it on Father's Day.
Don't try to plan anything on weekends in the summer
Yeah.
with this community because
Yeah.
they go to the lake. What was really interesting to me was he had given me this gift certificate, and then he goes, just hold on to gift certificate, you need it somewhere. So
That's awesome.
but
Yeah, no,
Stephanie,
he's
for
great.
you,
Yeah, no,
and I was just going to say, you talk about Bud Miller Park. Now people want another one on the Saskatchewan side. It's not good enough just to have one on the Alberta side. Everyone's like, we want one on the Saskatchewan side too.
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, they've been talking about that for a few years, actually. Since I was on council, it was something that was brought up of having like something on the Saskatchewan side that had that beautification piece. But, I think that Lloydminster really has all the amenities that an individual needs, right? Except for Costco right now. But besides that, you have
talk about that in a minute.
you have the culture you need. I remember when we were growing up that, McDonald's was like the old McDonald's that was it. There was nothing beyond that for the west side. And now you see we have all of these new stores on the west side. So really we have all the amenities that we need and all the resources within our community. We drive 2 hours, you can catch an Oiler game, and you can still be back at home that night. You drive 2 hours to Saskatchewan, you can go and see a concert, and you can still come home that night. Really, we're situated in such a amazing place where you can still sleep with your door, like window open at night. And for the most part, you don't hear sirens, and you can do that, right? Where you live in somewhere like Vancouver or the Lower Mainland, you're driving 2 hours just to get to another part of the city. Never mind get to an Oiler game and then back in the same time, right? So we're really blessed, I think, in that realm of our situation and where we're located. And that, like David said, if there's something that you want in this community, we have it. We have amazing sports teams. We have amazing, like, the ability just out of Killarney Lake to be able to go rowing. There's amazing things within the community, but also within like close proximity that you can easily access and then easily come back home. So we love it here. Our family loves it here. Our kids are taking post-secondary in Edmonton, but hopefully one day they'll come back. They say not, but I think everyone, right? I think that people leave and then they come back because they realize that Lloydminster really, that has a heartbeat that nowhere else really does.
So I've been to a football game and back the same night in Regina. So
right?
Oh, jeez.
It's got to start early in the afternoon, but you can do it.
You can,
Yeah.
So Taylor, where did you grow up?
Kingston, Ontario.
So when did you move here?
I moved to Alberta and started journalism in Alberta in High River 2 months before the town flooded. And then I moved to Lloyd in June 2014. So I've been here just over 10 years.
Okay, so you're in the media. Yeah. You're. I know from when I was like working at the radio station. I was there for I don't know how many 20 years. And the number one question I would get, Taylor, is why are you still here? Like, why haven't you moved on?
And I get that a lot because most journalists aren't here, especially with the TV station, but
that's
a
what
year or two, and then you move on. But
what keeps you here?
I love it. I just love the community, and you guys both said it so well. I think it's a perspective thing, I think. Like, when I first moved here, you could say there's nothing to do except go out and go to the bar. But that's a perspective thing, right? And David said it perfectly. There is always something to do. Maybe not in the summer locally, because everyone does go to the lake, but I mean, some of the sports games I go to and cover, it blows me away how packed it is considering there's 4 other big games going on at that exact same time. So it's like, you could say there's no culture, but I think, the culture is the community is the culture. I think they kind of both dictate each other, and there is so much passion in the community. And being here 10 years, just seeing how much, especially funding has been raised for, organizations in need to provide things for the community, I think is it's amazing. And then the last minute Lloyd is the big joke, and that always does come up. I mean, Deanna, we still contact each other a lot about stories, and that came up with her Elevate expo coming up. Last minute Lloyd this, but whatever it is, the community's always there. And it's funny. I do get that a lot. Like, what are you still doing here? But it's especially from my mother. Come back home. She misses me. But it's amazing how many just kind, warm-hearted people are in town here. And I think, if you're still stuck in that mindset, there's nothing to do. It's just a matter of perspective.
Well, I should probably let Heather tell a story, but like when she gets that all the time, I'm sure when she first moved out here, especially from her mom, and saying like, why are you there and why you keep going there? I remember her first year that she was on the morning show with me, she made a Christmas list, and she was like, okay, this is what I want for Christmas, and she made the Christmas list, and then she left. And I read it on the air. Heather can't be here, but she's going to read her. I'm going to read her Christmas list. The community filled it.
Oh, really?
The community filled her Christmas list. So she had on there, one of the things she had on there was I want a tractor with my name on it. Cam K wrapped up a tractor and a $100 gift card to Mr. Bill's and left it for Heather. Mm-hmm. And when she got back, there's not only that tractor, but the current mayor now had dropped off a keychain that had a tractor with her name on it. And there was all this other stuff that she had listed off that people, like, I need a new pencil. People brought a pencil now.
Oh,
like it was like, and that to me is what Lloydminster is all about. That's kind of the community within the community. And there's certain people here that drag you, like if you're not involved and you meet certain people, they will drag you into things. Mm-hmm. Vic Juba.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Vic Juba. Ken Baker was another guy that was like that. They would they would physically, like, I remember the day Vic Juba asked me to be the parade marshal. Maybe it doesn't sound like that big a deal, like you're the parade marshal, but it was a big deal to me. Yeah. And it was not just a big deal that I got to be the parade marshal. It was a big deal because Vic Juba asked me. He didn't just, he showed up out of the blue. And he was like, here's why I want you to be the parade marshal. These list of things you do in the community. Like to me, those guys, like they made me want to do better things in the community.
And I think that's an important piece too when you say that, is that, you know, we look up to people that have been like cheerleaders in our community, that like the Vic Jubas of the community, the, you know, the Bill Condros of the community, people that have really left a legacy, Ken Baker. And so, you know, when I think of the active work that each and every one of us is doing, there's a second generation of people that are 20 years younger than us that are thinking, you know, well, if they're doing it, that's kind of what I want to do. And sometimes you do have to shoulder tap people and, you know, hey, did you know this is happening? No, I didn't. Like, how would I get involved? Right. So I just think it's important to, you know, lead by example. And because people every day, people are watching, right? People are watching every single thing that everybody does. And if you can leave some sort of a legacy of inspiration that says, like one of Gabby's friends is like, I don't even know what your mom does, but I kind of want to be like her when I grow up. And I'm like, well, you don't even. And just like, she's just said everything. And so, you know, like it's important to me that, you know, you're leaving an example that people know who you are. And it's not that they know who you are because of your title. It's because they see that you're involved in the community.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, we do have that next generation, like Councillor Justin Vance, like he's my kid's age, right? He's on council and wants a better community for his generation, and so that's really neat to see. And then, you know, being part of council, I've got to go and speak to some of the grade 8s and grade 9s, and you know what it's like to be on council, and lots of them are like, well, you know, how are we ever going to survive? Everything's getting so expensive. Everything's getting so expensive, and I said, be a savage. Make sure, like, don't wait for someone to do it for you. Be the first person to go and do it. And you know, and I look at both you guys and like moving from Kingston and coming here and doing radio, and I mean, making minimum wage and having to get second jobs, and like you didn't wait for someone and didn't go, woe is me. You went out and you did what you had to do. Just a funny thing with Taylor. The first time I met Taylor, was at 4th Meridian Brewery at the open mic. Oh yeah, right. And he's sitting there and he's beating on a cajon, right, to a song, and I'm like going, who is that guy? And I'm like, I thought like it was really neat, and I started talking, and I'm like, well, what do you do in town? He goes, oh, I'm the editor for the paper. I don't know if you were the editor yet. Maybe you were just working there.
I believe I would have been. Yeah, because that couldn't have been more than 4 years ago.
No, it was before COVID. No,
oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, time flies, yes.
Yeah, so, but anyways, and I remember we met, and then about, well, it would have been a couple weeks later, we're out at Sandy Beach golfing with my wife and I, and we run into Taylor at the golf course, and just, but there's things to do, right? Like, we weren't at home, we were out in the community, and there's always something, and it's just, and I tell the kids that, I'm like, if you're sitting at home playing video games saying there's nothing to do, it's because you don't want to look for it, right? You want someone to hit you in the back of the head with something to do, and you know, you even go to Bud Miller Park and look at those pickleball courts and those basketball courts that the city put in 2 years ago. Yep. They're packed. Yeah. Like, we're literally like busting at the seams there, going, we might need more pickleball courts, right? We might need more beach volleyball courts.
Like, I was there running on Monday night, and there must have been, I want to say 70 people on the pickleball and basketball courts. Yeah. Like, literally.
Just open up.
And it was like jam-packed.
Yeah. And the service center is always packed with pickleballs too. Pickleballers,
No, absolutely.
They're always full.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the next generation. Well, how many times have you talked to the young girls competing for the PWM Steelers in the SO Cup? Like, I've talked to those girls, and I've been so impressed with those girls. I'll tell you, they care about that. Not only that this is the last event in Lloydminster, they want to leave a good legacy. They want to win for Lloydminster. They want to put on a good show. They want you to go down and buy a ticket because they want to put on a good show. They care so much about this community. Yeah. It's a huge thing for them. And they'll all mention to you, and you know, it's not just hockey. There's a family zone outside. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a place for kids to come and play. Yeah. David or Stephanie, I think, mentioned Costco. Okay, this has been a rumor since I think I first came to Lloydminster. Like, it seems like it's been forever. I think since the first Costco opened up in Edmonton, there's been a rumor that there's one coming here. It certainly does appear like there's one coming here. There's construction work going on. There's people talking in the community about it, whether the city wants to deny it or not, or maybe the city doesn't know for sure. But it certainly appears that a Costco is coming. Now, at one time I had talked to Roger Brecko and he had told me when Superstore opened up it opened up the trading area so much. He said it brought so many people into Lloydminster, just the superstore alone. And he said, can you imagine what a Costco would do? And I had mentioned to somebody that I thought it would be about 235,000 people that it would be in that trading area, that it would bring into the area. They told me that was low. What do you think? Like, what do you think of a Costco coming to Lloyd?
You know, and I'll give you that superstore analogy. So when Superstore came in, everyone was worried it was going to kill a small business. It was going to, there wasn't enough staff. There wasn't enough employees, this, that, and the other thing. And Superstore opened up.
How old were you at that time?
How was that, 90?
Yeah, it was somewhere in there.
Yeah, so I would have been 15 years old. So,
yeah.
And
Well,
I
you
still
remember that, eh?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Amador, my dad and I, I went everywhere with him. Still do. Like, I still work with the guy. So I everywhere. I went to business conferences with him. I went to training seminars with him. I everything. Like, I remember going to meetings with Ray Nelson with my dad. I would have been like 12 years old, and being dragged along to these things. So it was always top of mind. We never talked about anything but business at home, honestly. Like, we had the motel and we had the ice cream parlor, so we were always working, and when we sat down, it was talk about business and things like that. So I remember having those conversations, and even Amador was sitting there saying, I don't know what this is going to do. I think it's going to be good, David, but he's like, do we have enough people in Lloyd to staff it? And it came out that, you know what, Superstore came and it brought in more people, and not only did it bring in more people, it brought in more families because there was more opportunities for work in Lloydminster. And I think something like a Costco or something would do the same thing. It's going to, the people that go to Costco, typically if you need a jug of milk, you're not going to Costco and waiting 40 minutes in line to go get that jug of milk. You're going to go to the Sobeys, you're going to go to the Co-op, you're going to go somewhere like that to pick up your jug of milk, right? So I don't think the grocery stores and things like that are going to be impacted. I don't think fast food or restaurants are going to get impacted, because these people that are coming here and they're driving for hours, they're going to stop somewhere to get something to eat. So are you going to have to be creative? Yeah, I think we're all going to have to be creative in the industries and figure out how we're going to attract them. But I think it's like anything. I think new business attracts new people, and I just bring it back to my restaurant. And when they put in the Original Joe's and Fat Burger and all those restaurants around Arby's, everyone's like, man, that's going to decimate your business. I'm like going, absolutely not. It's going to make it like a food court, and it's going to attract everybody there. And I'm actually going to get new people who haven't tried Arby's or haven't been at Arby's for 15 years. They're going to go around. There's the parking lot's going to be busy. I'm going to be the only one with a drive-through, and they're going to come in, take the drive-through, and go through Arby's. And I wasn't wrong. Like, did I get a hit the first few months? Absolutely. But after that, it's just that draw. You want people drawing somewhere. And if we can, as a city, can draw businesses that bring more people to Lloydminster, we're all going to do better, right? As a city, as businesses, everything like that. So,
yeah.
I
heard a story from someone, and I can't say it's true or not, but they had said that they were looking for, he knew of a business, that was looking for a dental assistant, and had tried to hire someone from out east, and the conversation came to a Costco, and do you have a Costco? And he had said no, and they had declined the job because of it. So I don't know whether that's
Interesting.
100% true or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be a measurement to what kind of a community you're moving into. It could be a measuring stick.
Yeah,
that way.
I don't know. I think it's going to be if it comes, it's going to be an excellent economic driver. I don't think it's going to hurt any of our local grocery stores. If anything, we're going to have a huge catchment area. People that go currently to Saskatoon from North Battleford and all of that area, they're going to come to Lloyd. They're not going to want to pay PST. We're going to draw in Bonnyville. We're going to draw in Cold Lake that currently go to Edmonton. Let's go to Lloyd. Far less heavy traffic, easier access. I mean, when I go to Costco, I'm going there for a few select things that aren't offered in my community, right? I'm not going there to buy peanut butter. It's more expensive there than it is at the regular grocery store, right? Yeah. So I'm going there for specified things. How many jobs is that going to create? It's when people come here, like David said, they're going to be, maybe they're going to get gas at Costco, maybe they're going to get gas at a gas station. They're going to go to the food stores. They're not just going to come Costco and go back home. It's going to be an economic driver for many of the different businesses in our community, and I think it's a really positive thing.
I have never owned a Costco card. Never in my life have I bought a Costco card.
Well, you're going to have to.
Well, and it's,
Well, you maybe don't have to.
Well, it's just Heather and I. What are we going to buy at Costco?
Yeah, we're a family of 6.
Gas, I guess. Maybe
Seriously,
gas.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, I look at that and I'm like, well, Co-op advertises on my show.
Yeah.
You know, I got to support Co-op. They advertise on my show. I like to support the people who support us. I mean,
Absolutely.
David, when you give to when I meet an Arby sandwich at you know, the Health Foundation dodgeball, that sticks in with me, right? Thank goodness it's not the jalapeno one you got now. but you know, it sticks with you, right? Like it sticks with me that, you know, David did this. Next time I'm looking for a place. I mean, I've talked to people before who go, that doesn't matter, Kirk. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. It matters to me who gives back to the community. I mean, when I worked at the radio station, I would only eat in restaurants. David knows this. I would only eat in restaurants that advertised with us.
Yeah.
If they didn't advertise with us, I wasn't going there, because I got to support the people who support me. And I have a lesser value of that now. I don't have that strict policy now.
You'd
I
starve.
mean, you know, I'd starve. I don't have any restaurants advertising with me right now, I think. So I would be.
It is true, though. I, like, at the Health Foundation, I'll be honest, I didn't have an account with Synergy prior to working at the Health Foundation. But Synergy is such a huge supporter of healthcare in our community that I'm like, I have to open an account with Synergy Credit Union.
Yep.
It was just like something I felt morally that I had to do. Nobody knows whether, well, now people know, but besides that, nobody knows, right? But it's just like an important thing of people that support you. But when it comes to the Costco, I don't think that it's a matter of, like, if I'm going there, I'm going to buy a beach chair that they don't offer anywhere else in Lloyd.
Good point.
That it's like a beach chair that I have to order off of Amazon. Well, I'd rather support a local industry than support whatever, right? So, like, when I'm going there, I'm going there for specific things that aren't offered within our community. Because I always think local first, of course.
Well,
I
mean,
want to support the community,
you know,
for sure.
A car isn't built right here in the city, but the people who sell it live here.
Right.
Give back into the community, right?
For sure.
Like, Taylor, every time you guys have anything on Costco, I bet the papers just are gone.
Oh yeah, the numbers, well, especially online too, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, our recently retired reporter Jeff Lee was teasing the town for about a decade on that one, and
Well, it was on their website. It was sitting there on their website as a to come for years and years, right?
Who, Costco?
Costco,
Yeah.
yeah. It was sitting there on
yeah.
their website. You can look up and go, oh, it's coming to Lloydminster, but there's no date or anything.
Yeah,
There was also, like, you know, villages in Tibet on there maybe. I think
the community
I don't
wants
know.
it though. I think people do want it. Like you see I think it was Joshua Colson posted some photos on one of the community pages, and it was an aerial shot of the mythical groundbreaking that's going on there right now. And you've got, you know, probably over 500 likes on that right now. And I always think back, whenever Costco comes up, think back to an April Fool's joke we did a couple years ago where we photoshopped. This was before the new Canadian Tire was built. I took a photo of that plot of land. It was empty, and our graphics guys photoshopped Costco coming soon, and it looked pretty believable. Well, I had a lot of angry emails and phone calls for a couple weeks after that because I gave false hope to tradespeople and people that wanted to work there and stuff like that. So I think we're ready for it. And I mean, you look around the city, and, you know, city councilor can talk to this, but there's growth everywhere, I'd say, right? Like,
Yeah, it feels like it. Oh,
it does.
Yeah, we're busy. Like, the city's busy.
Yeah.
Well,
There's new restaurants opening.
There's new restaurants?
Blowers in Grafton.
Yeah, my daughter just got a job there yesterday,
Yeah.
so we'll see. I don't know if she can waitress
East
or not.
Coast
but-
chain, yeah.
Yeah. Canadian owned, and
there's
so
another one, I
super
think,
cool.
opening too. There's a couple. There's like
One across from the Gold Horse Casino. It's can't remember what's going there,
Yeah, I can't
but
remember
it does
what's going
say that
there,
it's coming soon.
Yeah.
And has a sign, so it's been purchased. So that's
right.
exciting.
Well, I want to talk about the economy. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about our economy. And we're hearing, you know, during this election coverage, we're hearing a lot of talk about a recession. But is that really what's going on right now in the community? We'll get into that when we come back.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at LNA CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
The brand new community of Wellings Lloydminster lives life to the fullest. Their mission is to enable connection, build community, and enrich the lives of their 55 plus members. Discover a new way of living and retirement and experience more freedom with every choice you make. At Wellings of Lloydminster, independence speaks for itself, and the social opportunities outside your door are endless. Visit them at 3211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side and discover more at wellingsoflloydminster.com. We're excited to be back here at Border City Furniture. The sale never ends here at Border City Furniture, and the conversation will end here with our guests. We have Stephanie Munro, the CEO of the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation. We have David Lopez here. He's a businessman in Lloydminster and, of course, a city council member as well. And we have Taylor Weaver here, who is the editor of the Meridian Source. I remember, David, when you first ran for council, how sincere you were about our city. That's why I wanted to have you on the first. That's why I wanted to have you on the first program. You care about this community so much.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think at one point you might have cried on my show.
I may have gotten emotional. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like you may have cried about talking about why you wanted to be. Why Lloydminster was so important to you, and it is seen as So when we were in, I think we were in Mazatlan last year. And there was 4 of us sitting at the swim-up bar, and this lady from Turtleford came over. She didn't know we were from Lloydminster, but she came over and she started talking to us and asked us where we're from, and we said Lloydminster, and she goes, "Oh, Lloydminster, there's nothing there but money." And we all looked at each other and went, "Yeah, that's a real bad thing. You wouldn't want that, would you?" Oh my God, it's money. But Lloydminster has been seen as a place that you can build some wealth at. You can come here and make some money. You can, we do have everything. Like, I remember one gentleman at the oil show saying it occurred to him when he was driving out here that Lloydminster has everything you'd ever want. Mm-hmm. The housing prices aren't that high. It has some of the best soil in Canada all around it for farming, and it's got heavy oil. Which heavy oil is perfect for making asphalt, and it's not that abundant anywhere else but around here. And you've got this huge refinery here. You've got the upgrader here. You've got all this stuff. You guys have it made in Lloydminster, and you don't even realize it, he said. You take it for granted all the time. And it seems like for the last number of years, the city has felt like it's ready to take off. It's wanted to go. It's wanted to get back to that 2004 to 2000. You remember when, we were doing Festival of Trees, and the first tree was selling for like $1,600 minimum. And it was like, your kid could cut their hair and they would make $25,000. People had some. It feels like the city's ready to take off on that, but we keep hearing about this recession. But I keep seeing signs. I don't know about you guys, that the things are okay in Lloyd. Like Taylor, you'd mentioned, hey, there's a lot of construction going up. Well, for how many years it didn't go? Like, it was like for the long, when we were building Nissan, people were like, you guys are built like, and at the same time they were building Co-op. It was like the only 2 things that were going on, it seemed like, at the same time. But now it seems like there's a lot more of that. Am I wrong in thinking that we're doing okay?
I don't think so. I think there's, we see lots of commercial going up. We still have Covenant Energy that's on the books that wants to open up the refinery here in Lloyd. You're seeing the houses selling. Like, the biggest problem we were having in Lloydminster was the pre-existing homes were so much cheaper to buy than what the new homes were that we couldn't justify building any new homes. And now those pre-existing homes are getting to that point where, to build a new home makes sense again. So you're seeing houses pop up everywhere right now, and it's really exciting to see. It's do I hope we get back to the boom of the housing market? Oh, like those were stressful times.
But
like,
even our boom wasn't as bad as
yeah, like it was fun, but it was stressful because we couldn't find trades, and that's the biggest problem we have right now is the trades. Like, I would say there's a dozen builders in Lloyd. There's probably 4 framing crews for the dozen builders, right? So how do you put up houses? Yeah. Right. And but I feel the same way as you. I think we're on that cusp where we're ready to spill over and
I
start
feel like if
over.
a conservative government were to take over and there was some stability, things would just explode.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just waiting for that stability.
Like, it's nice for sure. Stability is nice. I think everyone wants to see that, right? But at the same time, you have your average people that are working at their, not high end wage and not like minimum wage, that are just, they have a family of 4 or 5 people in their household. But you see these grocery prices continue to rise, but their salaries aren't rising, right? So I think people are still being very cautious about the money that they're putting out. Whether that comes to being philanthropic dollars or the money that they're spending on any extras that they're putting in their household, because they don't know when are those prices going to quit inflating, right? And because of the unpredictability, both with like international trade, obviously, but also just within our own country right now. So I think once the election's over, hopefully we do see some more of that stability where people are like, okay, this is where it's going to be now for a while. And then but you just see it climb. Right? I mean, to go to the store and buy a little thing of raspberries for $6.99, like it's hard to be healthy. It's hard to, right, for families to.
No, absolutely.
So I look at it from like the perspective of, not necessarily you're not a business owner and you're not someone that's maybe creating that economic development, but you're someone that's just going to work every day, right? Yeah. And you're so uncertain about what the future looks like because everything seems to be getting more and more expensive, but your wage isn't increasing.
There's like 17. I remember back in the day. You guys remember this too. Maybe not so much you, Taylor, but you couldn't get on 17. You're like, it's so busy. You can't get on it, at certain times of the day. Noon hour, you're driving back. Oh, I'm going to be late getting back to the radio station because I can't get on 17. Yeah. Off, And then it seems like that's getting like that to me. It feels like that to me.
You mentioned that earlier, and it kind of resonated. You can't turn left sometimes to go north on 17. Right?
Yeah.
And even out of that Tim Hortons there in that plaza, it's the same situation. It's just you might as well go right and take the long way home because, traffic's ramping up. Same with the ring road as well. It's I was stuck on there for a good 20 minutes yesterday.
Yeah. Like, I know you guys got a lot of 15-minute city stuff. Like, they'd always say, 15-minute cities are coming. We got to protest against 15-minute city. Yeah. And at one point, I was like, 15 minutes? Like, we had the building out on 17. I'm like, I can get anywhere in 15 minutes. I can get out to Nissan when we were in the big blue building out there in 15 minutes. Now it's starting to take a little bit longer to me. I feel like things are... And the Calgary Stampede is a good, a measuring stick. Like, and prices were up at the Calgary Stampede. So... I'm hearing that houses are up in Lloydminster by 20%. Well, you would know, David. You just sold your house. Did you get 20% above?
I got more than I got more. Yeah,
more than you asked for.
I got exactly what I asked for. But I got more this year than I would have last year. Like and by about that 25%.
Okay.
And just because there's such a shortage of houses right now, and that's where we're going to run into problems. Not only do we have a shortage of houses, we have a shortage of apartment buildings, and entry-level homes and everything like that. And again, it's with the whole tariff and what's going on with our neighbors down south. Like, people don't know what it's going to cost. So, like, talking to some of the builders in Edmonton last week, they're actually putting in their contracts that it's like, this is the price of the house. if tariffs come in, you are responsible for all tariffs that get put on top of that house and put it in underneath. So like, you don't even know what a house is going to cost you anymore. Yeah. So so that uncertainty scares me, but I think Lloydminster, we just, I don't want to say we're recession proof, but just because of our industries, and I know canola now with 100% tariff is going to be hard for our farmers and things like that. But we're so diverse with agriculture and industry and oil and gas that we seem to be able to just weave our way through uncertainty and always have that industry that can plug us along and get us through until the.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't say we're recession proof either, but we have what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you, David, on that. One of the things I think, like, the people were hoping that Rosemary would answer last night at the Chamber Forum was about tariffs on canola, because we haven't, like, it's just gone away. Like, nobody's mentioning it. Everybody's talking about Trump's tariffs, but nobody's talking about the canola tariffs. What do you make of the two conservative candidates who are, and I will say this, you don't have to say this, but I will say this, almost guaranteed to win in this area, not going to the forum last night? And I just wonder, I feel like I'm a little bit responsible for that in a little bit of way that the two conservative candidates didn't show up. And I'll tell you why. When Rosemary came on my show in 2021 and we talked about the carbon tax and Erin O'Toole was the leader, she had made a slip about where the Conservatives were heading with the carbon tax. And that clip of Rosemary saying that like 20-second clip went from one end of the country to the other.
Oh.
The Liberals gobbled it up. They put it on everywhere. They said, look, look what they're saying. Look what they're saying. And it was the opposite of what Erin O'Toole was saying. And it might have even been about COVID. It might have been about masking and stuff like that. I can't remember what it was. But I feel like right now, everybody is scared to make a mistake because of the way that social media is. And that's what may be driving them away from doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've talked to Rosemary and we've texted and messaged a couple times in the last couple of days, and I know that she is up north and she is running a pretty strong campaign. I'm not saying that's an excuse to not be here, but I don't know how much notice she was given about that forum last night. And if you already had a rigid campaign schedule of where you were going to be, in her defense, and I literally know she's up north, is that can you come back for one thing that you were only known about 2 days prior when you already had prior commitments? I don't know how much notice she was given, like I said, for that forum. I think that whatever way a person votes, I think she takes the time to listen, in my opinion. Whatever you may like, whether or not you vote Liberal, whether you vote NDP, whether you are a Conservative supporter, whatever that looks like, I think she's there to listen because she is our representative for our region, right?
Well, let me ask you this.
I'm a Saskatchewan resident, so I don't have as a strong relationship, obviously, with Shannon Stubbs. Yeah. So I can only really speak on that behalf.
Well, let me ask you this, Taylor. Do you think because Shannon doesn't live in this community and Rosemary does, it would have been more important for Shannon to show up last night?
I mean, that's a really good point. And I was kind of talking to Stephanie about this. Shannon has been very active on social media with her door knocking, and she actually did reach out to our office yesterday regarding, she sent me an email saying, is this the right person to contact for, some kind of an article submission? But no, I mean, they both advertise in the paper, so can't say too much. But I think it was a bit of a power move, but I think it would have looked better if they had both shown up. On the other side of the coin, though, you're not voting for those representatives, right? It's the overall. You're not voting for the representative here. It's the party overall. But I know that the candidates who were present last night weren't impressed. I'll tell you that. Just with some of the comments they were making about the absence. So.
Well, you can take their opinion with a grain of salt, though, right? Like you have to be able to take their opinion with a grain of salt.
That's politics.
For me, I was surprised. I was surprised they weren't there.
And honestly, I normally always go to the forum, and I'll admit I wasn't there last night. I only found out about it a day prior. I've been really trying to stay off of social media, just kind of go on, post a couple positive things and get off because it's just weighing me down a little bit. So I really didn't know about it, and I already had a prior commitment. So normally it's something that I always make a point of going to, but I wasn't there last night.
Well, I made a post the other day about, I think I'm politicked out.
I saw that.
I saw that too.
And it was actually a farmer who said that to me. Because I asked him if he wanted to come on to the show and talk about canola tariffs. And he said, I don't know if I have the energy. I think I'm politicked out. I think there's so much that has happened over the last 5-10 years that I don't know if I have the energy to even muster it up. And I started thinking about me, and I'm like, this, you know, there's not a lot of signs around. It almost feels at times like people are just taking it for granted that the Conservatives are going to win. I take it for granted that the Conservatives are going to win. And I also take for granted that the election is going to be decided before it gets here.
Yeah.
And that can weigh down, that can politic you out as well. Because when you guys were, like, how many people ran for city council?
16?
This city was engaged. I felt like it was an engaged community. You would know.
I'd say that, but I would hope the voter turnout would have been higher.
And then the voter
Yeah.
turnout didn't
No.
say it. But
Yeah.
I felt like the people in my circle were always asking me questions. When I went to the grocery store, somebody was asking me questions about one of the interviews that I did, or that interview, or
Same for us, yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
like people were.
There was interest.
when there's interest there, and I felt like people were really engaged. I also feel like this community has really taken a step forward when it comes to supporting local. Like, I feel like COVID, if there was anything good that came out of COVID, anything at all, it was probably that you realized you need to support your neighbors and you need
Absolutely.
Yeah.
to support local. And then it kind of went away for a little while, you know, and then the Trump tariffs came back, and all of a sudden, oh, you got to support local, right? Like it wasn't top of mind for a few years in there, probably like from probably 2022 to 2025 until Trump started his tariffs. Then all of a sudden, oh, we gotta shop local and stuff. And even on this show, and this show will tell you 100% all the time to shop local. I feel like we stopped saying shop local, shop local, shop local. It just kind of, you know, I hope that I was, you know, putting that vibe out there on things that I did on the show and
100%.
things we talked about, but I wasn't actually physically saying it.
Yeah.
And now I find people are physically, like the Health Foundation for your event coming up next Thursday, Stephanie, or next Friday, sorry. You guys are doing local?
100%. So everything, we've never done a live auction. We've always had a trip to Mexico, hot trips, wherever. Everything is 100% Canadian. So besides, it's Greek themed, and so besides our pre-Greece trip that will be auctioned off that, or just drawn that night, tickets have been sold. It's not an auction.
As far as I know, Greece doesn't have tariffs on it.
Yeah,
either.
No.
and everything that is in our live auction is 100% Canadian. So coast to coast trips from Canada, supporting local artists and supporting our own country. So we're really proud of that, and something that we just thought, you know what, as an organization, if we want people in our community to support us, we have to show that we're also supporting our community. So, yeah.
That event, I feel like, is like the major event of the year. Like it's a really popular event. It sells out every year. It's like when you walk in, you feel like you're in another country.
It's a true gala.
It really is.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty elevated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. And, you know, we have Kurt Price, who's actually one of our MCs. So very excited about that. Yeah, it is a fundraising event at the end of the day, but it's also a thank you. It's a thank you to every single person in that room that has helped support our organization over the course of the last year. We're very fortunate that over the last 2 years, we haven't had to even announce that tickets were on sale. It sells out of itself. So we're just very fortunate in that way that we haven't had to, because of the reputation that it's grown, right? So yeah, very fortunate for that and very thankful. And it is, like I said, it's an elevated event, but it's an elevated event because it's a marketing thing as well. Because it's to say thank you to Richardson's Jewelry for every single year since its inception that you have been here to help support healthcare in our community.
Yeah.
Take that event away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you can't say something like that, but is there an event in Lloyd that you look forward to every year? Something that comes up on the calendar and we'll start with you this time, Taylor.
Well, you kind of pre-screened that, and I was throwing ideas around, but I find I'm at an unfair advantage because I go to many events throughout the year, and there's a lot. So
and you don't pay, by the way.
That's our little secret.
I don't either.
You bring the camera and you're good, eh?
When
It's made anywhere.
When you're the MC, you don't pay either.
No, but there's so many good events, and I mean, yeah, Health Foundation Gala is a wonderful one. I can't wait to go and do some coverage there, so we'll see you then. But
has he signed up?
I'm volunteering at something like that. But I mean, there's so many. Like you get the Lloyd X Fair, which always brings something new and it's exciting. Downtown Street Fest, which is coming up pretty soon. I remember one of the first times I went to Downtown Street Fest, which is right in front of us here, right? They closed down the street, and I was up a little further north and I could hear someone singing Keep on Rockin' in the Free World, right?
Aw.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy can sing. Like, who is it? And it was Trent Block Hansen from they just played at Rock for a Cure.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, for me, I love music, as we brought up, open mic. But yeah, Downtown Street Fest, the Canada Day celebration, the Filipino festivals that have been coming lately, I find those a lot of fun to go to. Those guys know how to party, and they make amazing food. But yeah, no, it's hard to pinpoint one. That was a very unfair question, if you ask me. There's too many.
Well, how about you, David?
Oh, I was just trying to go in my head which ones, and again, there's so many things going on. I completely forgot the galas next week. Like,
You forgot it was Good Friday tomorrow.
I forgot it was Good Friday tomorrow. Like, I trying to book things, and everyone's like, "Well, I'm closed tomorrow." And I'm like, "Going what?" And it's like, came back from Zoom. I've got one day to do things, and then it's 3 or 4 days off, depending on where you have to do. But man, events, I go to a lot of sporting events. I love hockey. I love when the beach volleyball is out there. Even like when we had the summer games, I love volunteering at that and watching athletes perform. And again, like it's this one thing. I'm not an arts guy. And it's terrible to say, but I don't go to lots of things at the Vic Juba. I don't, but
I've seen you at the Vic.
Yeah, I go to a few things. Like I'll go to I went to Big Sugar, and that was a great show, and I've gone to a couple of things, but I don't love planning my life, because I always tell people, I said, you know what Friday is when you own a business? It's 2 working days till Monday.
He's the reason we call it Last Minute Lloyd.
Right? So
he's the reason.
And I am so it's one of those things just you're so busy, you sit there and go, well, like what's going on, and then you try and get tickets, and either it's sold out or you can get tickets and do those things. But I don't love scheduling my life, right? My life is so strict and stringent with my work and the things I do. Like when I'm free, if I'm free and I can and something's on and I can get to it, I go to it, right? Like Finger 11, that was at the casino.
That was great.
Right? I'm like, I should get tickets. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if then the night was free, and I went to try and get tickets, and it's sold out. And I'm like, well, I lost that one, right? But the fair, I love the fair. I love the people watching and just seeing all these people and how they interact and things like that. But as a specific thing, I don't have one. I really don't.
It's interesting you mentioned the Finger 11 thing, because there's like 3 or 4 things happening that night in town.
Yeah.
Like it was a crazy night.
That show sold out in 2 weeks, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kim Mitchell next Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah, I
at
saw
the
it when I was
Gold
at
Coast.
doing a check presentation the other day.
How about you, Steph? What do you go to where you don't have to work? What's an
So
event you
honestly, so I actually don't really like being in public that much, to be honest. Our lives are so busy. Obviously, having 4 kids, our lives are so busy chasing pretty much every weekend with other sports they're in, whether it's like Allie for basketball or Gabby for synchro or Casey for football. So our lives are so busy with like our kids' sports that we, I just love anything that like supports community, being outside. I'd much rather be outside watching events, volunteer at the summer games last year for like the track and field, because I just think that's amazing. Individual athletes, just seeing what they can do. But every event in our community that brings our community together, whether I can make it or not, I try and support it in some way. So Play It Forward last week or a couple weeks ago with Border City Connects, popped down there for a little bit. I try and support everything I can, not just my own local foundation initiatives, but everything that I can honestly physically make it to without driving myself crazy. Because like David said, we only have like this short little time before it's like, boom. And you have to make sure you're taking care of your own mental health, your family, and that you're not exhausted to be the best version you can to get back to your community. So like I said, I try to make it to everything I can, and whether that's like the Evening of Champions or the Rescue Squads Gala, right? So, I mean, every year will I be able to make it to those? No, but I try and support what I can when I can, and enjoy just the community aspect of everything.
It's interesting. David said, "Oh, I don't like scheduling things." That's the way I am when I go on holidays. Because I find a really easy
100%.
way to get rid of your holiday and make it go by fast is get a schedule going and look at your watch all the time. That'll make your vacation go away like that. One of the events that I'm really looking forward to, it's a brand new event. It was held for the first time last year, was when they decorated Weaver Park up with, made it into a haunted park.
Oh, the Halloween.
And I saw the kids' reactions.
Yes.
I could hear them screaming from my house.
That was a hub fundraiser, right?
It was it was a hub fundraiser.
Yeah.
But that was so new to our community, and I watched my niece, go come home afterwards and go, it wasn't that scary, and her dad go, you ran away, like you physically ran away from me because you were so scared.
Yeah.
Like those kind of things, like when they come and they make things new and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. And then I was disappointed this year that I missed the Kinsman supper that they have, their Telemiracle Steak Night, because that's always a really good night. The Kinsmen just want to put on a great
I think
party.
there was multiple things going on that, like, it's
There
so
was.
hard because there's multiple things going on, right?
Oh yeah. Tonight it's the fish fry. For the
Sold out.
For fishing gaming. I know I got tickets for it. Thanks for reminding me.
There's your dinner plans.
So that's always a good event too, though.
I've never
their
been to it.
awards night is really a good night.
I've never been.
Their
I just,
awards night is a good night. The food is sensational. Speaking of food, Easter plans?
Well, my youngest is coming home for Easter. He's between 2 exams, so he wrote his one final exam yesterday, so he's going to drive home today and
clean out his room.
His mom has told him he's got to do some heavy lifting with his dad over the weekend, so we'll see how that goes. And then, so we're just going to stick around Lloyd and start packing the house and get ready to simplify life.
You didn't even know it was Easter until this morning. So, how about you, Steph?
So when our daughter's in between exams as well, so she just got home last night. She'll go home on Easter Sunday because she writes again next week early. So we're very fortunate that we have both of our families in Lloydminster. One lives in the next cul-de-sac to us. So Good Friday we're going to Justin's parents, and Saturday we'll go to my family. So I don't have to cook, and so get 2 amazing meals and probably pop to church, and it'll be good.
And you, Taylor?
To be determined. My fiance is working this weekend, and we don't have anything exciting planned as of yet. I mean, I could walk out of here and see a text message saying, "Hey, we're going to so and so for dinner," but
right now it's a frozen dinner.
I won't. No. We'll cook a nice meal. We'll cook a nice meal. It might not be the whole shebang, but I do enjoy cooking, but I'm not sure if it'll be a full on Easter.
You know what I get so excited about Easter for? The Stanley Cup playoffs start. I'm so pumped for the Stanley Cup playoffs because the Habs made it last night. But I also love watching, and I love that the Oilers play at 8:30 at night. Like, I love that it's a late game.
It's so late.
But I love it because there's
by
nothing else going on at that time. Like at 8:30, it's like, there's nothing really, I'm home now. Like if I was out, I'm home. You're not cutting the grass at 8:30 at night or doing something, So it's those late games are awesome. What time do you go to bed?
Oh, 9:45.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ask him what time he gets up at, though.
Yeah.
5 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I used to get up at 4. I'm not doing that ever again.
I think you were obligated to do that, though, weren't you?
I was obligated, pretty much.
There was a paycheck tied to it.
So. Yeah, there was a paycheck tied to it. Yeah. But I don't, like, now I'm a late night guy. I love staying up late, and 11:30 is going to bed about 11:30 every night.
Well, I'll be honest. I used to love late nights. I was a terrible sleeper. Sometimes I still am, but it actually got to the point where my family got me a Whoop that tracks my sleeping. So now every morning I got my son and my wife saying, "How was your sleep last night? How many hours did you get? How many times were you awake? What was your heart rate variability?" So now, like, you're so conscious about how you're sleeping and all that, and how much better you feel when you've actually
gotten,
like, you get it, and like every day you journal, like it pops up and says, "Okay, time to do your journal. Did you have your fruits and vegetables? Did you hydrate sufficiently? Did you have coffee? Oh, how many cups of coffee did you have? Did you have an alcoholic drink? Oh, you did. When was your last one? How many did you have?" So now you go through the day and it's like, "Oh, I'd love a coffee." Yeah, no, then I've got to write it in my journal. Yeah, I'm gonna, right? But it's just, So now, like, you sleep and it's like I used to lay down, hit the pillow, and you would stare at the ceiling, or you would put on Netflix and watch shows. Now I hit the pillow and I'm within seconds, I'm out cold.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't sleep through the night, and then you wake up and you feel good. Or if you've had a terrible night, you start going through your journal and going, oh, this is why it happened, right? And so it's just really weird that I've gotten there in my life. But
I feel like if I had one of those, I'd be yelling, I already have a mother.
yeah. So, but but yeah, like with playoffs, I'm sure there's going to be. Well, the funny thing is, it tells you it'll notify you saying time to start winding down.
Yeah.
Right. So now playoffs are going to be on, and I'm going to be sitting there
My
going,
Garmin does
Your
that.
heart rate's
yeah,
gonna
I'll be doing that. I'm okay. I'm going to watch the game
Your stress
tonight.
level seems to be a little higher than usual.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to take that.
You were in high stress for 2.5 hours. What was going on? The Oilers were playing.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll end on this. Who's your Stanley Cup pick?
Oh, it's got to be the Oilers. Has to be. Yeah.
I hope you're right. But without Ekholm, I'm worried.
Yeah.
But,
you
but
still
I
have
think it would be
Draisaitl
so
and-
awesome,
You
wouldn't
got
it?
Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins.
Can you imagine the people from Lloyd that would drive up for the parade?
Oh,
People would drive up for
we
the parade.
may as well shut down the city.
You might as well,
Yeah.
because people will go. I
Yeah.
go to the parade, go on the parade.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an Oiler fan, but I hope for the regional team,
Yeah.
right? Like I want.
Yeah,
I see
you
the
want
Oilers.
to you want to support Canada, right?
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I'd almost say I am an Oiler fan that way. I have to be a kind of an Oiler fan that way. Can't really support local and not support.
Well, I'm an ABC guy, anyone but Calgary. So
I'm an ABC guy too. Anybody but the Canucks. And Stephanie, you're picking
Yeah,
Winnipeg.
I'll pick the Oilers, but I will
Oh.
I'm going to pick Winnipeg for Kat. Because Kat's she's a hardcore Winnipeg fan, so I'll have that on record so she can love me for that.
I was gonna go Jets just to be different. Yeah, just to be different.
But they're doing really, really,
They
like,
are,
they
yeah.
did really well.
And this was the first year the Wings and the Bruins didn't make it.
Yeah, first time that the only two
In a long
original
time.
6 teams that
Yeah.
made it were the Canadians and
And you're a Habs fan, right?
I'm a big Habs
Yeah,
fan.
okay,
So-
that's what I
Did
thought.
they make it?
they made it
Yeah.
last night. Yeah.
So I read a stats somewhere that was saying that the last time that the Wings and the Jets, or the Bruins and Jets didn't make it to the to the playoffs was 1967, the last time that the Leafs won it. I don't know if this, I haven't researched it. I just read it. I read it on X the other day, and I'm like, I gotta research that one, see if that's actually true.
Because you know what, I hate to
Did the
admit
Leafs
this,
make
but-
it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, so we have
yeah.
quite a few Canadian
Well,
teams.
I hate to admit this, but I'm picking the Leafs to win the cup. I just think Craig Berube
ya?
is. Yeah, I like the way Craig Berube coaches that team.
It could be a Battle of Ontario for them too, right?
Yeah, it is a battle on. Yeah, first round is Ottawa and
Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto. So I hate to admit it, but I and my dad's such a big Leafs fan. He's starting to get up there. That it's like, man,
It would be a
maybe-
great twin for him.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I never tell him that, especially when he phones me every time they beat the Canadians. Leaves a message because I'm the one and I'm answering. Yeah, but
That would be nice though. If for Jeff Lee, our recently retired reporter, he's a diehard Leafs fan, and he's one of
Yeah.
those ones that just glutton for punishment, keep supporting the team no matter what.
Malcolm Radke too,
Yeah.
previous
Oh, yeah.
CEO, hardcore Leafs fan.
Yeah.
He drug
Yes,
he drug
he
us
is.
to a Leafs game. Yeah, it was
everybody should have the
it was
opportunity. to
it was
see their team win a
interesting though.
championship.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody should have the opportunity. Like if you were a Boston Red Sox fan, you could have lived your life and not seen them win.
That's
like
right.
it was what 99 years or
I
something.
can't
It was
remember. It was
so
long,
long,
so-
and the Cubs too. Like lots of people were born and died without seeing them win. That's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
Like you live and die with these guys, and then you die and you haven't seen them win.
Yeah.
Everybody should get to see their team win.
Yeah.
At least once. I want to thank you guys for being the initial guests on this program with Border City Furniture, the PROspectives. It's all about the positive things in Lloydminster. And I know, like, if you guys have somebody you want to recommend for the next time we do this, and I accept any feedback that you have, we'll get better and better all the time. We'll get better guests, that's for sure. Yeah. But
We're the OGs.
That's right.
thank you on one side.
The bar
then
has
criticism-
been set.
The bar has been set. Yeah.
That's what's that. But it is appreciated. We will leave you with this though. The Lloydminster Museum and Archives is hosting a dip dyeing Easter eggs and Easter Pasanki this Saturday from 10 till 4:30. It's for kids aged 3 and 8 that can dip dye and decorate hard-boiled eggs, while the adults and the older kids can create beautiful traditional Pasanka eggs. You can register at lloydminster.ca. Your $5 fee also includes admission to the galleries. And yes, you can drop in, but it's not guaranteed that there'll be space. So you should register if you're going to do that with the kids on Saturday here in Lloydminster. Again, People say there's nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
No.
Lots to do. The museum's open on a Saturday. Go have some fun. And of course, you can always shop here at Border City Furniture as well this weekend. We really appreciate Border City Furniture coming on board and giving us these nice, comfy chairs to kind of relax and have such maybe an informal conversation. So appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
you.
We'll be back with you Saturday. We're going to talk to the PWM Steelers on Saturday. We're going to get into the SO Cup, which starts on Sunday already.
It does.